Wanderluster of the world. My name is Myrin and I welcome you to my channel. Today's video is about going back in my memory lane and to revive my trip to California and my small visit to Las Vegas. I'm doing this because right now with the coronavirus, it's impossible for us to get outside of the United States of America and to travel to another state for us New York residents is very hazardous and is very tedious to get outside of New York and then coming. It's more tedious to get back than going out. But nonetheless, we like to travel, and the purpose of this video and this channel is that I'm going to revive my trips with you. As well, I will be giving you some tips to make budget-friendly trips without going bankrupt, without losing on your savings. The purpose is to travel, to see the world, to connect with other humans, but in a budget-friendly way. So bear with me and accompany me to this trip to California in 2017. And that way we arrived to LA, a very beautiful city full of culture, full of people, full of terrible traffic, but very beautiful and very lively nonetheless. We didn't stay in the downtown of LA, we actually ended up staying in Buena Park. It was quite like a 10-minute drive to almost all the places that we needed to get. And to all the attractions that we were visiting, it was like half an hour depending on the traffic. The first place that we decided to visit for this trip was Universal Studio. And the first entrance that we did, we go directly to the Harry Potter world. We enter to the Hogsmeade in Harry Potter world. We buy our butterbeer. We get to this ride. We get to see people with the wands do the magic, and it's a very nice moment. And we enter into the Hogwarts castle to get into that ride. That is a very flying.
Down the alleyway like last time.
Sounds like yet another clear violation of the Warlocks Convention of 1709. But then again, with all these muggles running around.
Stay with us. Oh, and should you catch sight of that dragon, please take note of its location and report it to a member of the staff.
After that trip to Universal Studios, we go to the Warner Brothers for the next day. We go to the Warner Brothers studio. We get to see the archive. That is the very highlight of this studio, this adventure, this tour. And for the fans of DC and the Potterheads, we get to see all the props that have been using for all the movies of each franchise. And I love it. We get to see the Joker, the Harley Quinn props. We get to see Batman props. We get to see all the Suicide Squad that was coming on that time. All the props that was used for the Suicide Squad movie was in that archive at the time. And then we get to go to the second level of the archive. That is where the Potterheads fans are going to love it. That is the Potter World. They have the Marauders map, the wands, Dobby, the Sorting Hat, all the Gryffindors, trophy.
Your bonus knows no bounds. Yes, yes. You're clearly a Gryffindor!
So like I say, the archive have all the props for the DC movies and the Harry Potter and Fantastic Beasts props. There, everything there. The hat that you see it is the authentic sorting hat used for the movies, so you can get sorted by the authentic sorting hat and get actually the house that you actually belong. In my case, was Gryffindor. The second part that we see was more like the garage, like I like to call it. They have all the cars for Batman's movie there, including the Joker Lamborghini. That was not a Lamborghini. That's one of the dark secrets of this car. It was not actually a Lamborghini. But you get to see all the cars of Batman's, the very iconic ones. and the very new ones, they tell you everything behind each and every car. Each and every car have their own authenticity license. Nobody can copy it. Nobody can have this in outside. Like nobody can replicate it and have one of their own outside. So it's a very interesting fact about the DC universe, especially Batman universe, and we enjoyed that section a lot. Then we say goodbye to the Warner Brothers studio. We actually get to see more than this. We get to see the sets that they use for the Gremlin movie. That was one of the iconic, to get to see the house where they take this scene in the movie where the Gremlins flying through a window, a woman. The next day, we decided to go to the Disneyland. We actually go to one of the parks in California. We actually go to Disneyland per se. We enjoy our time there. Tips when you're going to Disney: 1, don't go in a hurry. 2, there are going to be children's, but there are going to be a lot of adults as well. Be prepared. You're going to hear a lot of tantrums there, and it's going to drive you crazy. Be aware that you're not going to get through all the rides in one day, and you don't need to go through all the rides because most of them are very repetitive. What it changed is the theme and what you're going through. But Disneyland is very nice. And the other tip that I have is, don't try to get a whole full meal during your stay in the park. Try to eat something that will let you get through the whole day, but wait till you get outside the park because the meal is very expensive. And we, once again, are trying to travel in a budget friendly. Be aware that there are going to be a lot of lines for everything except for the bathroom. Magically, there was no. But it's a very lively, very childish, and it's more for adults than for children because we revive our past. The next day of that, we decided to go to San Diego to the zoo. It was quite a drive. It was way more in the south, almost getting there to Mexico border. It's a very big zoo. It takes us quite hours to get through it, but we ended enjoying it. We get to see a lot of animals. Thankfully, a lot of them were awake. Most of them were walking and moving, and it was one of those special days. I recommend going to this zoo. The amount of animals they have is very impressive, and they have very unique animals that I, who tends to go to different zoos, have not seen in others. And they're very well taken care. Given the circumstances that they have a lot of animals that are cold weather ones. And then bring us to the last part of our trip, that was Las Vegas. We get there and we spend just a few hours there. I recommend when you go there during the day, try to stay inside a hotel that's very hot. And there's not much to see because all the shows start in the very late in the night, and all the light, the spectacle, the fountain, and all that look way more better in the night. Be prepared. There are going to be a lot of bizarre stuff that you're going to see even during broad daylight. So that is all for our California trip and our big visit to Las Vegas. Before I left, I want to go and highlight some of the tips to make this trip to California a bit budget friendly. Once again, do a lot of research. Do research in different websites, different bundles to be able to get a very good deal like we do. We stay at a Radisson hotel. Radissons are quite expensive, and we pay for our whole stay of 9 days what a person pay for one night. So our bundle actually saved us quite the hundreds there, if you ask me. Another thing is California offered the City Pass package. In our case, we were unable to use it because by the time I was used to live in Puerto Rico, and our address are way too long compared to United States. but if you can, I recommend you do it. They actually save you like a 25 to a 35% of the whole purchase compared to buying the tickets separately, and this is quite the deal. Once again, research, check for bundles, check in different websites, and try to travel during the week. Don't start in the weekend and leaving back in the weekend. Try to go during the week because prices are way lower than during the weekends. When you're going to Disney, be aware there are going to be a lot of lines. The lines are ridiculous big. There are going to be a lot of children. Children are not capable to tolerate Disney. Disney have a lot of lines. They have to wait a lot. A child doesn't have the patience for that. A child doesn't have the patience to wait a lot to get to the bathroom or to eat. So you're going to witness a lot of tantrums that probably are going to be like the age. So parent that you hear me, if you have a child, a small child, please don't bring him or her don't bring your child to Disney yet. Wait till your child is a little bit more in the teenage range, so your child will be able to enjoy it and more at the teenage age than at the baby age. A lot of lines, the food is very expensive, so don't go there trying to like, oh, I'm going to have a full lunch, a full dinner or something like that in Disney. No. Try to have some snacks there, some water, stuff like that to keep yourself hydrated. But don't go in mind to having a full meal because it's going to cost quite a lot, and you can just wait till you get outside from the Disney park and you're going to find fast food and other restaurants that are way more cheaper and probably taste equally or more or better than the Disney restaurant. So Disney, don't buy a full meal inside the Disney park. Be aware of the long lines, and you're not going to ride all the rides there. I recommend at least riding 4 of them that are different. We get to ride, actually for this Disney we only get to ride 3. We get to ride the ride that have the train that goes to the Wild West. Then we get to ride one of the lodge rides that you get all splash, one of the splash mountains, like I like to call it, and we actually get very wet because we were in the first line. And try to ride one of another of high speed. In our case, we ride a one inside Star Wars section. And if you can ride the simulators, they have a lot of simulators, not as good as Universal, but they have quite a lot of simulator rides that are really good. Universal, if you can get your hand in the fast lane pass, at least the one that let you ride once all the ride, get your hands on it, because you will be able to ride all the rides in one day. Universal is a lot of simulators ride, but believe me, they're quite the ride. I really enjoy it. Not for nothing, but my day Universal, I enjoyed it more than my trip in Disney, my day in Disney. Universal have a lot of simulators, and it's a must to ride all of them, especially the Jurassic Park one is a very thrilling one. I really recommend it. And another thing that I recommend for Universal, try to get in that tour. We left it for the very end. That was how we closed our day at Universal. That tour is a must. Okay, is a must. You have to ride that tour, and let me know how the metro or the subway section goes for you. For me, it was very thrilling and very scary, but we get through there. And if you are in the Walking Dead stuff and you want to run from zombies, go to the Walking Dead attraction. It's the very first that you're going to see in the park. Universal as well, don't try to get a full meal there. It's expensive. Wait till you get out of the park and you will get to eat anything. Warner Brothers, besides these sections that I showed you, there is another section where they show you the set for the Gremlin movie and the set for Pretty Little Liars, and it's very, very, very interesting. You get to know a lot of secrets from the industry in the Warner Brothers studio tour. So be aware, be mindful, and do it. Once again, if you go to Las Vegas, be mindful, be prepared, be open-minded. You're going to see a lot of bizarre stuff there. But hey, we're adults, we are aware where we are going, and you can just enjoy, go with the flow of it, and pretty much you will enjoy your stay. Like I say, try to stay inside a hotel the whole day and go out during the night. That's when the spectacles, the lights, is all very lively and also very pretty. So giving you all that, giving you that recap and that highlight with all that, this is the last bit of this video. If you like it, please hit that like button, subscribe to my channel, hit that bell to get notifications when I upload new material. If you like this video as well, leave a comment below letting me know what you like. If you have a topic that you want to talk about, let me know so I can make the material happen. If you're having an upcoming trip, let me know. I will be more than happy to help you to do this trip in a budget-friendly way without breaking that bank, without breaking those savings. If you need any help with any trip, let me know. I'll be happy. I will give you advice. I will give you the tools. I will help you as much as possible as I can. Once again, thank you for bearing with me and watching this memory lane trip with me, and I will see you all guys in our next trip.